Viewer discretion is advised. Women like Brittany Bowens and Crystal Jackson, there is only one thing that is important in their life. And by you being so hungry for a man, you usually get the wrong man. And whomever is instructing you on how to get a man, they are instructing you wrong.
Now remember what Mama told you. Before you're hitched, do everything to make him happy. And after you're hitched, be happy and do nothing.
According to Derion Vence and Derion Vence's father, that's all you did was nothing. He babysitted, washed the clothes, cleaned the house, got the groceries, made the money, and all you sat around and did was nothing. You did plan your daughter's murder and left Derion Vence holding the bag. Bigfoot Crystal Jackson tried the same thing, but because of the cheap weed that she consistently smokes, it clouded her thinking and got her locked up. There are some women that prefer their men to be thuggish, and they will do anything their man says.
Look, babe, I'm holding up here till the heat's off. You understand?
Well, if you're too warm, honey pot, take off your dud. Make yourself to home.
Rustle me up some grub and make it snappy.
Anything you say, Buttercup.
Those women like Brittany Bowens and Crystal Jackson, they are very protective of their men.
Oh, you hush your mouth. Can't you see my husband-to-be? He's a dreamin'.
When they get a man, they don't want anyone disturbing them.
Listen, you! That's my boyfriend!
Go away, Skinny. Can't you see we want to be alone?
When Derion Vence was arrested, and people were starting to say, hey man, this guy killed your baby. And how do you feel about him being arrested for it? She really didn't reply. All she said was, I just want the truth. But in actuality, what she was saying was,
Come back with my man!
when I was younger, I remember when women that was built like Brittany Bowens and Crystal Jackson, those women used to come after me. And it was brutal.
A man! You handsome little hound dog. I got myself a real live man.
But miss, we ain't been properly introduced.
Lover, now that I found you, I'm gonna hound you till I'm old and gray. Where are you, honey bunny? Aha, there you are. You little rascal, you.
Girl, knowing that I do not want to talk to her, and just as soon as I get around my friends, here she comes.
Here I am.
Okay, we've had our laugh. Laughter is good for the spirit and soul. But it's time to get serious. The things that are happening today with people killing their own children, their parents, mass murderers and shootings, we have been warned about these times in the past, even by certain entertainers. Grandmaster Flash, Stevie Wonder. A lot of entertainers knew that this day was coming. Myself, the things that happen today, it disturbs me, but I'm not surprised because I knew that one day, this day would come. The scriptures tell us, although there are some people who don't like the scriptures, but whether you like it or not, it's in there. And right here it says that, but know this, that in the last days, a critical times hard to deal with will be here. Just look at what is happening today. The cost of living is sky high, but the wages are basically the same as it was. It hasn't risen with the cost of living. So people are poor. Look how many homeless people are on the streets. People are starving, have nowhere to live. You have some people that are committing suicide. It says that for men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, haughty, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, disloyal. Most men today are lovers of themselves. You see them on Instagram posting pictures of themselves all the time. The woman can't get in the restroom and get cute for him being all up in the restroom trying to get cute. People are loving money so much that they would do anything to get it. And then once they get it, they don't know exactly what to do with it. Children are so disobedient to parents that I know that their great-great-grandparents are turning over in their graves because a lot of times the parents are allowing it. People are unthankful. You help them, they won't say thankful. They think that you're supposed to do things for them. And what about the disloyalty? Look at the divorce rate. Look at the races of people. You have people that are disloyal to their own race. It says having no natural affection. That goes with these cases with people killing children. They have no natural affection. These people are void of affection. You cannot reason with these people at all. As it says, they are not open to any agreement. It's either their way or no way. Slanderers, without self-control. That's why people are killing like they are, because they have no self-control. Fierce, without love of goodness. Betrayers, headstrong, puffed up with pride. Lovers of pleasure, rather than lovers of God. And that's all people today are seeking pleasures. They are giving in to the temptations of the flesh, so far as homosexuality, even with the pedophiles, with people that are cheating on their spouses. They are giving in to the temptations of the flesh, and that is more abundant these days. Most people today are so caught up with pleasuring themselves, having a good time, that they cannot see what is approaching, and that is the end of times, as you know it. There are a select few of us that recognize the times, and we are preparing ourselves for those times, because it's going to be very, very tough. A lot of you people that are trying to have a good time, I think you better try to have a good time, because when it's over, it's over. And the problem is you're not prepared to work. You're not prepared to take care of yourself during the rough times that is approaching. I am quite sure that people know about the Trump wall that he's attempting to build around America. But what I try to tell people that I love is that that wall not will only keep people out, but it will also keep people in. With the swiftly approaching martial law, people will attempt to leave this place and will not be allowed to leave this place. It says, and because of the increasing of lawlessness, the love of the greater number will grow cold. On television, all they show is violence. You go outside of your home, all you see is lawlessness and violence from everyone, even the police department. So people are becoming used to seeing lawlessness. And because of that, you see so much of it, there are a great number of people whose hearts have grown cold to it. That's why they can see a black person getting beaten by the police and they will have no feelings for it. That's why they would call police on a black person just because. That is why you could see a white person getting beaten that hasn't done anything and people just stand around looking. Because there is so much lawlessness that people have become numb to it. And our hearts have grown cold. As you all may know by now, Derion Vence has been charged with tampering with evidence by the grand jury, something he was already charged with. And no one has been charged with murder, manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, accidental death, something. I say that there is enough circumstantial evidence to charge Derion Vence, Brittany Bowens, and Joe Jr. with the death, disappearance of Maleah Davis. Derion Vence was a knucklehead in this. He got caught holding the bag. So he pretty much is a done deal. I really don't see how he can get out of this. According to his statements, he was the last one to be seen to be with Maleah Davis. According to David Chalfant and Cornell X, the man confessed to the murder. So I just don't see how he can get out of this. Derion Vence's brother, it is too coincidental that he would jump up and leave town during the time Maleah Davis was missing. Isn't St. Louis on the way to Arkansas? So he's just too tied into this, especially with him being the brother of Derion Vence. Miss Brittany Bowens, when she lawyered up, that was all the suspicion that I needed, because why would she even request to see an attorney at that particular time? Why would that even be on her mind instead of where is her daughter? When she sought out Cornell X to be her spokesman, why would she even need a spokesperson? Her mother was doing fine. When Derion Vence came from the hospital, he went to Brittany Bowens' mother's house, where Brittany Bowens was. But Brittany Bowens never said too much about that encounter. The night Brittany Bowens came back, and she went to her mother's house, Derion Vence wasn't found yet. Did Brittany Bowens stay home the whole night? Because there is still some question as to who was the person that dropped Derion Vence off at the hospital. Brittany Bowens, her story kept changing. When everyone knows that when you tell a lie, you have to keep telling lies because you can never remember the first lie you told. But when a person tells the truth, they will add on to the truth because you kind of sit down and think about things that you forgot. But they will all line up with what you have already told, which would show that it's consistent. But her accounts, what she have told, has not been consistent at all. It keeps changing. The fact is that Brittany Bowens was at home at the time that they said that she was gone to the airport. She was at home. What are the phone records showing? Was there any correspondence between Brittany Bowens and Derion Vence during the time that she was in Massachusetts until the time that she returned to Houston? When Craig Davis picked up his son, why didn't he pick up his daughter as well? And I am wondering if Craig Davis had left his son, would he have ended up dead as well? How can they charge Derion Vence with tampering with the corpse and no one has been charged with murder? When Derion Vence was first arrested, did he have an attorney? And if he didn't have an attorney, was he interrogated? When he went to the hospital, told this elaborate tale of an abduction, when he would have said, I would have asked him who were the children, and he would have said, one was my stepdaughter, and the one that I have with me is my son. He would have immediately went to jail to be interrogated for questioning. He would not have been allowed to go home. And on one hand, HPD does a fair job. And on the other hand, HPD does a piss poor job. HPD has had issues with the crime lab, testing, police misconduct. So we have our issues. But for the most part, they do a pretty decent job. And I am hoping that this is one of those times. I'm hoping that they're just making sure that they have all the evidence they need, because I'm quite sure that they have some type of surveillance photos of Brittany Bowens going to the airport and leaving the airport. I'm quite sure that they have, because they have those face recognition cameras. So whoever drove Derion Vence to the hospital, I'm quite sure they know who that person is. Why they're waiting, I just don't understand that. But I'm quite sure they have all the evidence that they need. I'm just hoping that they will not let Derion Vence and Brittany Bowens get by on some technicality. If I have a firearm in my home and I let a child get to it and the child kills himself or someone else with that gun, I am responsible. I didn't give it to the child. I didn't tell the child to shoot anyone. But because it's my gun and because that child is not responsible, I am responsible. Brittany Bowens leaves her child at home with her boyfriend. Texts this boyfriend some ugly messages about infidelity. Gets the boyfriend riled up. In the end, her child ends up dead. Or maybe the prosecutors can prove that Brittany Bowens was at home during the time of her daughter's death and would charge Brittany and Derion and whoever else is involved with murder. I think that Cornell Lakes lied on Derion Vence when he made those accusations of him being gay. Because when he was saying those things, Brittany Bowens immediately dropped her head and started shaking her head like, no, I did not tell this man to say that. And I'm thinking that Cornell Lakes used that as a way to get Derion Vence to talk. Because it was after then when he went in and got that supposed confession saying that, see, now she's giving you up. So you're going to sit there in jail and take the blame for what she did? You better start talking. I'm just hoping that these two confessions don't mess up the case, because he didn't say it in front of police. He didn't say it in front of attorney. He said it in the presence of Cornell Lakes and David Vence. David Vence, in my opinion, is not credible. Cornell Lakes is, well, he's Cornell Lakes. Crystal Jackson, she's done for. I am just hoping that Brittany Bowens won't be too far behind. If you ever noticed that those two women, they are built alike, have the same mentality when it comes to men. And while their men were being taken to jail, both women said basically the same thing.
Come back with my man!
Don't worry, Brittany Bowens. Just like your old stable sister, Crystal Jackson, you'll be catching up with your man real soon.
Oh, you hush your mouth.